He used to sit in the break room, quiet, eating by himself while everyone else talked like he wasn't even there. Because of his old uniform and the kind of work he did, most people saw him as less important. But what they didn't know was that behind that silence, there was someone paying attention to everything. And he was about to surprise them all and make them regret the way they treated him. While others joked, scrolled through their phones, and tried to look important, he kept his head down and worked hard. He noticed problems before they happened, solved things no one else could, and never asked for credit. People looked right through him, never realizing the value of the man right in front of them. But that was about to change. Big time. They judged him by how he looked and what job he had. But he was about to prove them all wrong. And you? Have you ever heard a story like this? Where someone starts at the bottom and changes everything? This is one of those stories. And after hearing it, you might see people differently too. Because sometimes, the person everyone ignores is the one the whole company needs most. His name was Marcus. He worked in building maintenance, changing light bulbs, fixing pipes, cleaning up messes no one else wanted to touch. Most people didn't even bother to say, "Good morning." To them, he was just part of the background. But Marcus paid attention. Every hallway conversation, every frustrated manager, every broken system, he saw it all. And more than that, he understood how everything in the company connected. While others only did the job they were paid for, Marcus saw the bigger picture. He noticed which departments were struggling, where time was being wasted, and how certain processes made no sense. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. He just cared about doing things right. And quietly, on his own, he started writing down ideas to make things better. He kept a small notebook in his bag, full of notes, diagrams, and observations. Ideas for improving workflow, saving money, and fixing the company's biggest headaches. He didn't go to business school. He didn't wear a tie. But what he had was something most of them didn't. Real-world intelligence and a heart that wanted to help. For months, no one noticed. He stayed quiet, humble, invisible. But behind the scenes, Marcus was preparing something that would shake the entire company from the inside out. And it all started with one moment, when someone finally decided to listen. That's when everything began to change. Marcus didn't ask for much. He showed up early, stayed late, and did his work without complaints. But no matter how hard he tried, people kept treating him like he didn't matter. Some barely looked at him. Others made jokes behind his back. And a few even acted like he was invisible, walking past him like he wasn't even there. It hurt, but he didn't show it. Instead, he focused on his work and the ideas that were growing in his notebook. Every night, after his shift ended, he sat on his small couch at home and worked on those ideas. He had no fancy office, no title, and no one asking for his opinion. But still, he kept building something that could help everyone. There were days when he questioned himself, when coworkers ignored his greetings, when his efforts were overlooked, even when he went the extra mile. He'd see others getting praised for doing the bare minimum, while he quietly fixed problems that weren't even his responsibility. It would have been easy to give up. But Marcus had a different kind of strength, the kind that doesn't shout, the kind that keeps going when no one's watching. Sometimes he wondered if the problem was him, if he was just meant to blend in forever. It's strange how silence, over time, can start to feel like truth, how being overlooked can convince someone they're not enough. But deep down, he kept a small flame alive, not for recognition, just for the hope that maybe one day someone would see the real value he brought. What Marcus didn't know was that, while most people still weren't paying attention, someone was. A pair of eyes had started to notice his patterns, his consistency, and the quiet way he kept everything running smoothly. And soon, that quiet observer would give Marcus a chance no one else had ever offered. It started with a simple email. Marcus was called into a small meeting room on the 3rd floor, somewhere he had never been invited before. He thought maybe it was about a broken pipe or a repair request. But when he walked in, The regional director of operations was sitting there, alone, with a folder on the table and Marcus's name written on the front. "Sit down, Marcus," the man said with a calm voice. "I've been watching you." Just those words made Marcus's chest tighten. He had no idea what was coming. The director opened the folder, and inside was a copy of the notebook Marcus had been filling for months. Pages of ideas, improvements, observations, things Marcus had kept to himself for so long. Someone had found it, and instead of tossing it aside, they read it. All of it. "You wrote these?" the director asked. Marcus nodded, unsure if he was about to be praised or punished. The man leaned back in his chair. "You've identified problems our teams haven't caught in years, and some of these solutions, they're better than anything our consultants suggested." Marcus didn't know what to say. For the first time, someone saw what he had to offer and actually said it out loud. The director smiled and slid a new document across the table. "We want to test your ideas, implement a few of them, and if they work the way you say, I'd like to talk to you about something more permanent. A new role, a leadership role." Marcus stared at the paper, not even blinking. After years of being ignored, his voice was finally being heard. And just like that, the man everyone ignored, the one no one said good morning to, was now being trusted to help reshape the entire company. Not because he had the loudest voice, but because he had the clearest vision and the patience to wait for his moment. Marcus didn't accept the offer right away. He went home that night and sat in silence, staring at the paper on the table. Not because he doubted himself, but because it felt surreal. All those nights working alone, all the times he was overlooked, laughed at, forgotten, they had finally led to something. Not a reward, but a responsibility. And he was ready. Weeks later, the changes began. Marcus was promoted to a new position, operations advisor, and suddenly the same people who used to ignore him were now listening carefully to every word he said. Meetings that once left him out now asked for his opinion first. And little by little, the culture inside the company started to shift. People began looking at each other differently, paying attention, saying hello, asking questions. Marcus never asked for applause. He didn't want a spotlight. But his quiet strength lit a path for others who had felt unseen, unheard, unimportant. He became more than just a leader. He became proof. Proof that kindness, observation, and hard work don't go unnoticed forever. And that sometimes the person everyone overlooks is the one who was meant to lead all along. So next time you walk past someone without noticing, ask yourself, what are you really seeing? Are you looking at a job title or a person with something valuable inside? Marcus's story is just one. But out there are so many more, waiting for their moment to be seen. There are people around us every day who go unnoticed. They work quietly, care deeply, and keep the world running in ways most never realize. Marcus was one of them, until the day someone decided to stop and truly see him. His story is more than a promotion. It's a reminder that greatness doesn't always shout. Sometimes it works over time, keeps a low profile, takes notes, and waits patiently for a door to open. And if this story moved you, you need to hear the one we told last week. It's about a man who gave away his last $5. And what happened after might change how you see kindness forever. Tap the video on your screen and let that story live inside you too.